to one and all present here, and welcome back to all the sheikhs and sheikhnys of class 12. Yes, of course, most of you would be appearing for your first tests of class 12 from this upcoming week. So here I have come for you all with a video in which we would be dealing with the format of our question paper of English for class 12 board. Because guys, this is high time to realize what would your question paper consist of. So here I have the sample question paper for 2020 examinations. Class year 2021 examination sample is still not out. So as per this sample question paper, we can see that the question paper consists of section A, that is reading, section B writing skills and grammar, and section C is consisting of literature. Now let us discuss the marks along with it. Section A, reading section would be of 20 marks. Now what does this section A actually mean? What does the reading section consist of? So this reading section would be having one article to be read out, whose question answers you would be solving. Another article would be of 8 marks, of whose note making is to be done. Now what is note making concept? So what is the concept of note making? We all have learned this note making in class 11 and would be revising it in class 12 too. During this video, I would be briefing you what actually note making is. Though later on, we will be performing another video, presenting another video based on note making alone. So basically, 12 marks paragraph would be passage will be provided to you to solve the question answers. 12 marks passage would be provided to you to solve the question answers, and another passage would be provided to you this way, whose note making is to be done. Okay, the note making for 4 marks and summary writing for 4 marks. Now see, my dear friends, this passage which would for which question answers are to be solved is something common, like you have solved these kinds of questions in your earlier classes, previous classes. But this note making concept is new for class 11th and 12th students. So note making is basically required to be done in the shortest form as you can. But it doesn't mean that you will not cover up all the points. Note making has some basic key points. They are, first of all, divide the passage into the important themes. Now what are the important themes? A passage usually starts with some introductory notes, then some give reasons or some of the reasons, some of the causes, and then the conclusion or the solution. So a major passage consisting of 4 to 5 paragraphs can be so well divided into 3 parts. 3 to 4, according to CBSE marking scheme, 3 to 4 headings, or maybe can be termed as topics is enough. 3 to 4 headings with max 4 subheadings each would be consisted in the notice, in the note making. The note making would be having a bold title at the top, and it would be divided into 3 to 4 headings along with 4 subheadings each, maximum 4 subheadings, and you have to use at least minimum of 4 abbreviations. Now what are abbreviations? Abbreviations are short form of major words, and later on those abbreviations would be tabulated, would be written in the form of a table with abbreviations as well as the words. Another thing is summary writing. After making this note, you have to make the summary of this particular passage. Okay, this was all about reading section. Clear, my friends? Now next comes here the 30 mark section of writing skills and grammar. So basically, class 12 question paper is not provided with direct questions related to grammar, but your writing skills has concepts like letter to editor, notice writing, report writing, poster making. These are all variety of themes which we would be discussing up later on in this academic session. But mostly for this first monthly test, usually the topic dealt are letter to the editor, poster making, notice writing, and article writing. So poster to the editor has a particular format which I will show you over here. In letter to the editor, you have to first put the sender's address, that is the person who is writing, that is your address, or usually the sender's name is notified in the question. Okay, see there, for example, it's given you are Ramesh of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan Nagar, Delhi. Write a letter to the editor of a vital newspaper highlighting the issue of cleanliness in your neighborhood. Now you are said to be you are Ramesh of Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan colony or whatever. So the thing is, so write your own address, then date, Then the editor, the name of any newspaper daily, maybe the Times of India, the Hitvad, the Nation's Pride, any kind of such names. Then salutation, dear sir, respected ma'am, respected dear ma'am, whatever it would be. Then the subject is to be just after the salutation, and the subject word is to be in capital letters, and then you have to write the subject in a complete sentence. Mind it, the subject should not be lengthy. Then comes the body. The language should be formal and to the point. After that, subscription, thanking you, yours truly, XYZ, whoever the name is mentioned in the question. This is how letter to editor is written. After this, I will be discussing with you about notice. In notice writing, we have to make a box. At the top, write in caps, notice. Actually, on the top first, you have to write the name of the organization, whoever is issuing the notice, okay? For example, for notice writing, you have to make such kind of a box. Is it visible? You have to make such kind of a box, then name of the institution would be here in caps. Mind it, it would be in the center. Name of the institution in the center. Do mind it, the name of the institution ought to be in the center. After this, in caps, we need to write the word notice. N-O-T-I-C-E, notice. This word ought to be in the center in caps. Now by side, here you have to write date of issuing the notice. Then here the topic or the heading regarding which the notice is meant to be. After that, the body or the content or the body need not be so long because it's a notice. Only the vital and key points are to be notified through this. And then under here you have to write the sign as well as the post of the person who is issuing the notice. Do remember, this box is extremely vital as format carries marks in most of our composition parts. After this, regarding article, I would say that in case of article writing, the most important thing is the heading of the article. Then don't forget the byline. Now what is byline? Byline is by the writer's name. In most of the cases, the name of the writer is given in the article, and in other cases it is not given. Whatever it may be, you have to take care of that byliner. After that, look at your article. Article must begin with the introductory phrases, introductory line. It looks beautiful when your article starts with some proverbs or quotations. Take care of that. After that, your article should be in a logical and systematic manner, so that कि तुम लोग जो भी quotation use कर रहे हो उससे related और link पे logically एक के बाद एक points आया करे. ठीक है, एक paragraph रहेगी जहाँ पे reason रहेगा, जहाँ पे कुछ consequences रहेंगे उस topic से related. फिर एक paragraph में you may give some suggestions, and at conclusion you are required to give a satisfied and happy ending to your article. Happy ending मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि and they lived happily ever after. ऐसा मतलब it's not a story. Whatever, I hope you understand it here. Now next concept is about your literature textbooks. Now for your first monthly test, the basic 3 chapters are the last lesson, the Lost Spring, from your Flamingo book, and from Vistas you are provided with the chapter The Tiger King by Kalki. Now the vital questions from this chapter are, now as per CBSE sample question paper, your literature textbook portion consists of 30 marks. Now इस 30 marks में basically होता क्या है? 4 marks का क्या आता है? जो तुम्हारी poetry section है ना, from there you are provided with a poem, some lines from a poem, and 4 marks questions are asked from that poem. Next is about a passage is provided from your textbook, and 4 marks questions are asked from that particular passage. That 1 marks each, 4 questions. After that, you are provided with 5 questions, 2 marks each, for which you have to write 30 to 40 marks answers. After that, answer any one of the following questions in 120 to 150 words. For that, you are provided with long answers. And here, each question consists of 6 marks each. And then you are provided with another question, that is also here you have to write, these are also 6 marks each questions, and here also you have to write the answers in quite longer number of words, and that is 120 to 150 number of words. Some of the questions, important questions of these 3 chapters, I will be providing the link in the PDF, the link of the PDF format in the description section, as well as now I will be discussing with you some of the vital questions. In case of your first chapter, that is the last lesson, you may check to the link of my previous video in which I have provided most of the important questions, and that chapter is basically covered in a very beautiful manner with all the important topics and important questions together. Okay, so the last lesson is completely covered up in that previous video, and similar videos would be provided for the upcoming chapters as well, just with the time, as I'm looking over to the poetry sections of your syllabus now currently. Next, some of the vital questions of the last lesson. What was the mood in the classroom when M. Hamel gave his last French lesson? What was the mood among the students when M. Hamel was giving his last lesson? So when M. Hamel was giving his last French lesson, what could be the mood? The mood was of depression, anticipation, and everyone in the classroom had patriotic feelings in their heart and were also feeling quite worried that they had made a blunder fault, that they had never paid attention to what was taught in their class, as well as they were having their own repentance in their heart. So it was a scenario of sadness. Okay, so that was the mood in the classroom during M. Hamel's class. Next, what had the narrator counted on to enter to the school unnoticed? What the narrator used to look after when he wanted to enter into the school unnoticed? We know there is a regular hustle bustle in the morning time at school. So the narrator used to count on that regular hustle bustle in order to get into the school, as he was late for the particular day. This is your last French lesson. How did France react to the declaration of M. Hamel? Also, another vital question is, this is your last French lesson. How were these words a thunderclap on France or on Little France? So when Mr. M. Hamel declared that it was their last French lesson, a grim realization dawned on France that he had so much more yet to learn. He felt sorry for whiling away his time and skipping his lessons. He was sorry for skipping his lessons, and that he had never paid attention to his classes, he had never paid attention to his mother language, he had never been sincere with his studies and his duties. All these feelings of repentation and as well as a grief that he would never be able to study those same syllabus, that same subject again, made him feel those words like thunderclap. Okay, now another vital question is, what was unusual about M. Hamel's dress and behavior on his last French lesson? On the day of his last French lesson, M. Hamel was unexpectedly kind. He had put on his beautiful coat, frilled shirt, and an embroidered black silk cap that he formerly wore only on inspection and prize days. Okay? Frilled shirt, black, beautiful green coat, as well as a cap which he usually wore only on formal days, his inspection and prize days. In his last lesson, he explains everything with unusual patience, as if he wants to teach them everything he has learned in his entire life in this French language. Okay? Other vital questions of this chapter is provided in the link. Next chapter is the Lost Spring. The Lost Spring deals with the life of the child laborers who suffer a lot. See, dear friends, we are fortunate enough that we get a lot of opportunity in our life, but the people belonging to the downtrodden group do not get all these kind of opportunities. So you know the chapter, so I would be just in the chapter we have dealt about Sahib-e-Alam. Sahib, a boy living in the outskirts of Delhi who belonged to the rag pickers group, and another is about Mukesh, who belongs to the group of bangle makers of Hyderabad, Firozabad, an area in Hyderabad. So in case of Sahib, here we have a question. What does the writer mean when he says Sahib is no longer his own master? When it is said Sahib is no longer his own master, what does the writer mean? Since Sahib now works in a tea stall, he is now bound to his master and feels burdened. He is working in the tea stall, so he is burdened. The steel canister he carries is very heavy as compared to his little plastic bag. Now why is it heavy? Because he is no more his own master. He is doing work for another person. He is being paid by another person for doing their work. So thus his peace and freedom of his life is lost somewhere. The bag was his own and the canister belongs to his master, whose orders he now has to follow. So he is no longer his own master. Is it possible for Mukesh to realize his dream? Justify your answer. What was Mukesh's dream? Mukesh wanted to be a car mechanic. So here the question is it true? Is it possible for him to fulfill his dream? See, my dear friends, in this chapter we have seen that the people, the bangle makers of Mukesh, belonging to the caste of Mukesh, were completely locked in a wave of or we can say that they were completely locked in the cycle of money lenders, and they were fixed into that particular grip and particular chain. Now how to move out from that? So Mukesh's determination is giving to prove instrumental in helping him to realize his dream. His dream can become a reality only if he is able to find a garage where he can be taken in as an apprentice, and then he will have to learn about how to drive a car. He will then be able to graduate himself to a good mechanic. Now another vital question is, how does the title Lost Spring, what does the title Lost Spring convey? The title Lost Spring conveys how millions of children in India lose out on living the spring of their lives, that is their childhood. That is, most of the children in our India who are belonging to the low financial group miss out their childhood, spring of their childhood, in order to simply work and earn their living. And this is how their spring is lost. Thus the title justifies to the chapter. Another thing is about the vicious circle, to which vicious circle are the group of bangle makers caught. The group of bangle makers are caught in the vicious circle of moneylenders, mahajans, lawyers, policemen, and all the powerful people of their society, who don't let them get out of that particular vicious condition and make their livelihood better. Thus they had accepted all this situation as their fate and God's wish. Now in your another chapter, the first chapter from Vistas, actually the second chapter from Vistas, but now to be dealt as the first chapter, the Tiger King, written by Kalki. Now important question is, the first question from this chapter is, how did the Tiger King acquire his name? Now it is really amazing, right? A person can has a name like Tiger King. How can anyone be named as Tiger King? So the Maharaja of Pratibandhapuram was known as the Tiger King. He got the name of Tiger King as tigers dominated his life and his mission to lead. He killed 70 tigers in 10 years and also married a girl from a state which had a large number of tigers in order to kill the next 30 tigers. So his life was completely mixed and matched with tigers, thus he was named as Tiger King. Now what happened to the tiger provided by the Diwan Sahib? This is also another very vital question which was asked in 2009 Delhi question paper. What happened to the tiger provided by the Diwan Sahib? The tiger provided by the Diwan Sahib was old and agile. It was passive and exhausted. The Tiger King did not take careful aim at the 100th tiger. Now this was his 100th tiger. The tiger fainted due to the sound of the bullet and fell in a crumpled heap. No one wanted the Maharaj to know this. It was a hunter who actually shot the tiger later. So basically Maharaj had not killed the 100th tiger. It was shot by the hunter later. Now, why do you think was the Maharaja in danger of losing his throne? A high-ranking British officer wished to go tiger hunting, but he was declined permission by the Maharaja. The officer then requested to be photographed with a tiger killed by Maharaja. The Maharaja rejected that request also. Having turned down a senior British officer's request twice, could have put the Maharaja in danger of losing his throne. So here we can understand another concept, that is how powerful people of the society used to utilize the condition in their own favor and how they used to turn the situation in their own glory. So this is how we have to understand. This is basically the theme which this chapter conveys to all of us. Now the last question which I would be discussing is, what led the Maharaja to start out on a tiger hunt? What led the Maharaja to start out on a tiger hunt? The chief astrologer had predicted that a tiger would be the cause of the Maharaja's death, and he should be particularly wary of the 100th tiger. So the Maharaja banned the hunting of tigers in his state, and those who violated this law had to hand over their wealth and property to the kingdom, while the Maharaja himself started out on a tiger hunt. My dear friends, the vital questions will be provided in the under given link, as well as your doubts and feedbacks are awaited in the comment section. And of course, vital questions regarding these chapters and upcoming chapters would be provided with the time. Your doubts and feedbacks are most welcome in the comment section. The overall tip for any exam is, do hard work, do prepare well. See, your aim is not this monthly test, your aim is 12th board examination. So, Never take pressure, never worry, never be stressed. Keep calm, keep quiet, do work hard, give you 100%, because success is not gained in a single moment. It's about preparation, it's about the processes, it's about ups and it's about downs.